Hello everybody, and welcome to my review of Paddington 2. I want to apologise for the delay of this review. I know this came out in November, and I had planned to see it. I had planned to see it. Well, not see it. I had planned to review it a lot sooner than I did, but I became quite busy. In case you didn't see my review of Daddy's Home 2, I'm now wearing a Christmas jumper, you know, getting in the festive season, and it actually lights up. I actually want to give a shout out. I saw this film with Nicholas Payne. We went to see this together. Please do check his review out. Excuse me. He's uploaded his review, and it's, you know, very good if you want to hear his opinions. There is a short reaction with the two of us, as with the previous reviews like Lego Ninjago and Cars 3. So there will be a reaction that I will play later on. So let's get into the film. Oh, do excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough. So basically the story is, I mean, and I also want to say I haven't seen the first one, so I went into this completely blinded, and I will probably watch the first one at some point. So Paddington 2, it basically it opens with this sort of flashback sequence of when Paddington was found by his aunt and his uncle, which was quite nice. And then we get into the main meat of the story. Paddington he's happily settled with the Brown family, and then he walks into a shop one day and he sets his eye on a book that he wants to buy his aunt for her birthday. However, someone else who is after the book, this sort of self-proclaimed actor played by Hugh Grant, known as Phoenix Buchanan, he wants to take the book for himself, and then obviously exploit that for his show. This is his show that he wants to do. And Paddington is framed for stealing the book when he was actually in pursuit of Phoenix when he stole the book. But Paddington is then locked up in the prison and stuck, and the Brown family are trying desperately to get him out and solve the mystery, and eventually Paddington does break out of prison, and then he has to race to the train station to stop Phoenix from stealing the book before getting to his show, and the family also have to help Paddington secure his freedom. So that is essentially your plot of Paddington 2. So Paddington 2, I heard a lot of people rave about the first one. I haven't seen it, and I'm looking forward to watching it, because after this movie, I was very pleasantly surprised. The trailers for me didn't look particularly great, but I thought, you know what? This is good. I like it. It's very charming. I think that's the best way to describe Paddington 2, is that it is very charming. It's a very family-friendly movie. It is the most family-friendly movie of the year, definitely. And it also has a very British feeling to it, and I like that. I mean, the cast are great. I mean, you've got a huge cast in this film. Let's read some of them out. You've got Ben Whishaw, obviously, who does the voice of Paddington. He's great. He really does suit the part, definitely, and the way he conveys his voice, I think, is perfect for the role. It's just ironic that this is the guy that's now in as Q in James Bond, actually as Paddington as well. I think he's a great Paddington. Great performances from the kids. Madeleine Harris and Samuel Joslin. Sally Hawkins and Hugh Bonneville are great as Mr. and Mrs. Brown. Julie Waters is funny as Mrs. Bird. She does a wee little Scottish accent with her role, and she's quite funny. Who else? Of course, I've got to mention Hugh Grant as Phoenix Buchanan. He's wonderful in this film. He is hilariously evil, and stay for the credits, because there's a special scene in the credits, shall we say. He's delightfully funny. how he's just so in love with himself. And there's a line in this film where they mention now, oh, he doesn't like working with other actors because he feel it drains his talent, you know. And so, you know, clearly this is the most selfish man on earth. So I like that. And I think the story's very well done. You know, I really like it. It's very funny. I laughed a lot more than I thought I would. I think this is definitely more for kids, but I think adults could appreciate it too. You know, a family could watch this on an evening and be entertained. I liked the idea of putting Paddington in the prison. You know, that was interesting. How we spend a bit of time with Paddington locked in the cell. You know, and he kind of has doubts about the family at one point because they don't come to visit him. But obviously, eventually, he, you know, decides to break out of prison and take matters into his own hands. But everything that happens in the prison is quite funny. When he meets Knuckles, the chef, played brilliantly by Brendan Gleeson. Definitely, I mean, this guy played Mad-Eye Moody in Harry Potter, and you definitely see flashes of that in his performance in Paddington 2. It's quite funny how they don't have the best relationship at first, but then in the end, Knuckles proves to be a loyal friend to Paddington, and he ends up saving his life. And obviously the moment with the laundry when Paddington makes the laundry go all pink, that's funny. I think the climax is very entertaining on the train when there's like a big chase. It reminded me of the train itself reminded me of Octopussy, the Bond movie, which has like there's actually, obviously that is an action movie and there's a big fight on the train, but it's the same sort of circus train that's going to its destination. But this was entertaining, and it was quite surprisingly quite dramatic at the end when Paddington nearly suffers his fate, so to speak. I won't go into spoilers too much, but yeah. I mean, overall, it's a wonderful, entertaining movie. I think the production design is great. I liked. I think that there's a huge cast, and they all do very, very well. The music is lovely. I think the animation is great. The CGI. I don't know if it's actually motion capture. If somebody could confirm that, that'd be great. I think it's a great family movie, and I think all family movies should aspire to be like this, because it's really great. There's a lot of downtime as well in this movie. It's lovely. It's a lovely film, and it'll entertain you. So if you've got kids, take them along to Paddington 2. I think they'll be very entertained by it. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I don't think it's brilliant, but it's very good. I don't think the story is like anything grand, but it's definitely good enough for what this movie is. So I'm going to score Paddington 2 an 8 out of 10. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. And just before I go, I'm going to play the short reaction from myself and Nicholas Payne. Hello everybody, welcome to this, another reaction with myself and Nicholas Payne.
Hi.
We have just come out from seeing Paddington 2.
Great film.
So, yeah, what did you think of it, Nick?
I thought it was a great film. I've seen the first, and it's a really great film, done a review. And yeah, that was a really great one, and this one I think slightly improves on it, a bit like with Kingsman.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had the luxury of seeing the first one yet. I might watch it now, having seen this one, but I thought this was very charming. It was very good, very sort of traditional family entertainment. It had a very sort of British quality to it, probably because of the huge size of the cast. And it's actually sort of snowing at the moment as well, sort of sleeting.
Considering it's the day before December the 1st. Meaning it's November the 30th, and my maternal grandmother's birthday.
Oh, yeah, well, so I definitely, if you have kids, definitely check it out. Definitely. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. It's a great film.
There you go. So, stay tuned for more reviews. So until then, thank you all for watching, and as always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.